Hi folks, James here from TC. We just wanted to talk a little bit today about dip switches in our TonePrint pedals because I don't know about the support guys, but I personally get tons of questions about how to find the dip switches, what they do, which one is which. Some of you may be familiar with this diagram in our manuals. This one here, which shows you a diagram of the two dip switches, one for kill dry and one for buffered or non-buffered operation. The problem is when you open up the back of one of these bad boys, it's not always that easy to tell which one is which. So I'm just going to show you that today. It's pretty simple. If you've never tried to open a TonePrint pedal before, the standard size ones have what we call a thumb screw, although you can't use your thumb because it's going to be pretty tight, but normal flathead screwdriver should do the trick. You can actually use a coin. I've got a nickel here for our friends over in the States. That fits perfectly. 5p piece for the UK types out there. Anyway, once you get that thing going a little bit, you can in fact use your thumb, and there we can see the back of the pedal. So I've just got a flashback 2 here. It's pretty much the same setup for almost any of our standard size TonePrint pedals. And you can see that there are two switches here. They actually labeled 1 and 2. But they're not labeled 1 and 2 in the manual. So number 1 is the buffered bypass. So in this position, it's off. It actually says on there. So it's pretty fiddly, but you can use like a pick and just put that on. So now the pedal will be in buffered operation. In the off position, it's in true bypass. The second switch is for the kill dry. Right now, the kill dry is off. That means you can hear your dry guitar when you're playing through the pedal. In that position, kill dry is on. Off, on. So once you've done that, you can just pretty much tighten that up with your fingers or a nickel, whatever you prefer, and you're good to go. There's also dip switches on the larger pedals, the X4 style ones. Here I've got a flashback triple delay, and it's a little trickier to find these ones because of the 7 screws on the back. And just be sure that you've checked that all 7 screws are loose. You haven't. Some people might have Velcro on this area and they haven't found the 7th screw, which is in there. So you need to get yourself quite a specific screw piece. This is a Torx 10, I'm told, and that fits perfectly with these screw heads. I've cheated a little bit, borrowed this very nifty electric screwdriver from the nice guys in the service department. So I'll just open this up. Take the back plate off, and we find the same 2 switches, again labeled 1 and 2. 1 for bypassed or true bypass, and number 2 for kill dry operation. So same principle, just a little bit more fiddly to get to with the 7 screws instead of the 1 thumb screw. Some of you may be wondering what the 2 switches actually are for. And why you would want to put your pedal in a buffered bypass mode, for example, when all of our pedals quite clearly and proudly state true bypass on the pedal itself. And this is a little difficult to show with just a single pedal, what the difference is tonally between the true bypass mode and buffered bypass mode. But we'll put a link in the video description to another video where Tor sits and explains for about 40 minutes what the difference is between true bypass and buffered bypass and the benefit of a buffer in a longer signal chain. Switch number 2, which is to do with the kill dry. That, however, we can show you right here. When the pedal is in standard operation and kill dry is off, that means your dry signal is being heard. You can clearly hear that. Very, very apparent with the delay pedal, especially because you get the first hit of the guitar, the first strum or pick or whatever, which is your dry guitar, and then comes the repeated guitar, which is of course created by the pedal itself. I've just opened up the back of the pedal, taken switch number 2, put it in the on position, which is kill dry. And that means that now, when you strum the guitar for the first time, your dry guitar is completely muted. It's only the repeats that you hear. So that's pretty obvious what that does, and that'll be the same principle for chorus, flanger, phaser, reverb, whatever. You only hear the affected signal. It's very obvious on a delay pedal. There are a few different reasons why you might want to use a pedal in kill dry mode. One of them being a parallel effects loop or a parallel signal chain on your pedal board, for example. And I'll put a link in the description for that as well, where Tor explains the difference between parallel and serial loops and the benefits of these two things. So I hope that makes things a bit clearer for you guys who are having a bit of trouble deciphering our manuals. On the pedals themselves, we've labeled them 1 and 2. For some reason, we didn't label them 1 and 2 in the manuals, but then I'd be out of a job. So I hope you guys learned something, and thanks for now. Cheers.